Hey guys, this is Daniel.
And Matthew, and you're tuned in to the That Damn Brand podcast, episode 42.
Yeah, I don't keep count, but luckily he does.
Yes.
So we have a decent amount of stuff to go over today, which is probably why we're doing a episode on time. So where do you want? I didn't actually get you. Okay, we're
That's
starting.
fine. Couple of quick things. Yeah. So to follow up on our recent Space Jam coverage, their news dropped that LeBron James skin has been added to Fortnite, and that's probably three LeBron James skins have been added to Fortnite. To the surprise of probably very little people, since Fortnite's essentially crossing over with the entire video game, sports, music, entertainment world. Yeah.
Do you remember when? I don't know if you were. Fun fact on Fortnite. I don't know if you were pay attention to politics as much, but apparently there was talk of some of Biden's campaign managers wanting to put Biden in Fortnite. Like, no,
wouldn't surprise me. He had an Animal Crossing island, so it would not fucking surprise me. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So anyway, like, I mean, we've discussed Fortnite probably many times on this podcast and on our channel, and we do not play Fortnite. Right. It's never, well, okay, actually, we talk about how when we first played before it had the Battle Royale mode, it was actually kind of fun. Like, I mean, we never really did. Which is now
called Save the World.
Right. We never did go back and save the world, play through the entire thing.
Battle Royale is not called Battle Royale anymore, right? It's just called Fortnite? I
think it's called Fortnite Battle Royale.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, the original, like, premise of the game was to save the world. And so that was like the co-op story mode, or I mean, you could play it single player as well. But and that was actually relatively fun. But yeah, we never got into Battle Royale. We need to go back and finish that. But are you surprised that LeBron James in Fortnite?
No, not with the marketing push that they're trying to do, man. Like, let me see if this is on our list. I don't blow it now. No, it's not. Like how they have the controller Nike thing going on, where you have to buy the Nike shoes to get that specific Xbox controller. And which is it's a Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote controller, which actually I like. I actually do like. That would be the one controller I would get. But the only way to get that controller is to get the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner shoes, where one shoe is the LeBrons, of course, where one shoe is a Roadrunner, one shoe is the Coyote. But anywho, I'm just saying this movie is getting, like, they made a video game that's all advertising. Like it's like their budget went towards advertising in the actual movie, because the scenes I've seen don't look that great.
I mean, early reviews, or maybe it's actually out now, depending. I think it does come out today.
It came out today.
Well, depending on when this video goes up and when you're watching this, it should be out. But anyway, the things that I've seen, people are both saying, like, it's a upgrade in like a good way. Like it kind of did some changes, obviously, but like, cool, it upgraded to make sense for today's world. And then other people are like, it ruined the damn legacy. They should have never even tried to reboot it or whatever, or do a sequel to it. So I don't know, I have to wait and decide, see for myself. But
the review that I saw was that it puts the Looney Tunes on the back burner of what should have been a Looney Tunes movie,
which is hilarious. But yeah, I can see it.
But yeah, like, I don't know, I haven't seen it, so those aren't my words. I will probably watch it eventually when I can not pay for it.
It'll end up on HBO Max. I think that's the whole big thing that they're pushing. So
yeah, it's on HBO. It came on HBO Max too, and like Mulan, like a few months after it came out, I saw it on a plane. So maybe I'll see it on a plane sometime soon.
Yeah. It'll probably end up on other streaming services too. Like it probably ends up on HBO Max at the beginning, and then it'll end up on like Hulu or Netflix or something.
Right, like a timed exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So agreed. All right, we'll move on from LeBron James to another quick topic here. Ninja, who you may or may not have heard of if you've ever watched any kind of streaming or Twitch, Mixer. Basically, he's a creator that has blue hair, or at least that's the character that he portrays in all these games and stuff whenever he does end up in a game. he just got announced as being playable in Raid Shadow Legends, which is that mobile game that basically, if you've ever watched any YouTube videos, you probably have seen an advertisement for it.
Oh,
Or
Matt got.
oh yeah. I'll get to that. I was gonna get to that.
Okay.
Or if you've ever watched YouTube, you know, like some of these YouTube channels actually, you know, advertise for Raid on their channel. And then, sure enough, because I use Stream Elements with OBS, I actually got invited to a sponsored stream for Raid Shadow Legends, and it's damn near, I don't know, it's their marketing is crazy, and I think it's insane. I'm not a fan of Ninja personally. He's made some fucked up comments in the past. He got caught saying the N-word on stream. You know, he was claiming he was rapping to a song or whatever, but still, like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just not a fan of the guy, and so for him to be added to a game that's, I feel, is kind of like pretty scummy too. It's just kind of like scum plus scum. It's not going to get better, you know. But that's just me. I don't know. What do you think?
Props to Ninja for getting into a second game, dude, because all he does is like fucking play games, and he's in Fortnite and now Raid. But he kind of reminds me of like the Shaq of video games, where he'll do anything for money.
Yeah.
Like, does he even play Raid?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see him play on stream or whatnot.
Is Raid a shooter? I don't even know. I don't really even know. It's like a dungeon crawler, isn't it?
Some kind of mobile game, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't even think he plays that shit unless he's like, it's a paid stream.
Probably not.
You know, he just goes with the dollars at. So moving on, last week we reported that Video Cards came out with an article saying that the 30 series is going to get a laptop refresh. Well, Kopite Kimmy, the leaker that we were talking about beforehand as well, comments to Video Cards saying not only laptops on Twitter. The Video Cards Twitter account responded to him, knowing that he's a boss, asking, do you mean RTX 30 series desktop or GA103, which GA103 is just a die size that has not been used. It would fall in between the 3070 and the 3060, or 3080, I'm sorry, desktops. And he replies both. So pretty much my speculation last time was wrong. I'm guessing that one, bigger die would be the Super 3070. And yeah, so we should be expecting slightly better cards. On the high end, I don't see how they're going to be so much better, because we already have a really crowded market to begin with, because you have the 3080, then you have the 3060 Ti, the 3080 Ti. I don't know why I keep saying 60. So at 3080, we have the 3080 Ti, which is only 7% better than 3080. Then we have a 3090, which is only 10% better than the 3080. So within 10% of performance, we have 3 cards. I don't know what they're going to do there. Maybe they'll just change the 80 to have like a little bit more VRAM, since I personally don't think 10 gigs is enough if you're going to keep your card for the long run. And we're kind of seeing that with the 70, where I think we reported it last time, how in games like Doom, when you're playing on 2K, which a 3070 should be able to handle easily. If you're playing ultra settings with ray tracing on, a 3060 actually gets better performance than a 3070 because of the VRAM that it has. For some reason, the 3060 has 12 gigs and 3070 has 8 gigs. So I can see them upping the VRAM because people are finding those that they're not future-proofed. Well, shit, they might not even be current-proofed. But you know, anywho, that's my prediction. Like, we're not going to see a big performance jump minus the 70 card. We're probably just going to see more VRAM allocated to them. And that's all I really got for that one.
Yeah, I don't have any real comment on that. So cool.
Yeah. I guess the next one's yours.
Yeah. So if you've been following our channel for a while, I actually played through this game. Well, while I was in open beta, or actually, I don't remember what beta it was. It might have been even closed beta. I signed up for the Resident Evil Ambassador program. I got access to Resident Evil Reverse before Resident Evil Village launched. So Resident Evil Reverse was supposed to be the multiplayer game that was included with Resident Evil Village if you pre-ordered the game or you bought the deluxe ultra mega edition or what have you. So you know, those videos, the Reverse videos are up there. But yeah, so I mean, I actually thought it was kind of fun. They had some issues, like some things that they would need to iron out, and that's actually what's happened here. Is that Reverse was supposed to launch with Village, but in fact it got delayed. And so it was supposed to come out, I think, in April when Village came out, sometime around there. And then they said they were delaying it to this month, which is July. And now it's turned around and been delayed again. They're pushing it all the way back to 2022. Like, I want to say January, beginning of the year, next year. Now, from what I played, I didn't feel like it needed that much, like, additions, polish, whatever, like, to it. I actually, like I said, I thought it was pretty fun. So I'm only curious as to what they could possibly be doing to it. Like, I'd be interested to see how it turns out when it finally does release, provided that it doesn't get canceled. I mean, sometimes these games get delayed and delayed and delayed, and then they just decide, fuck it, like, you know, because this isn't. It wasn't going to be a game that you could buy. It was supposed to be just like a bonus, like a, you know, hey, you bought the Deluxe Ultra Mega Edition or you pre-ordered it, so here's this game you can play as well. So I mean, realistically, Capcom doesn't know anything to anyone. They could theoretically decide like, yeah, you know what, this isn't turning out how we like, so fuck it, we're just gonna cancel it. But I hope they don't, and I want to see, you know, what happens when it does finally release. Fingers crossed.
Flux got delayed, but I really don't have anything else to say than that.
Yeah, because you didn't have a chance to play it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't really think like Resident Evil is like a multiplayer type game, though, right?
I had fun with 5 and 6, so I think it's possible that it can be multiplayer, but it does stray away from what made Resident Evil. Like, and I know that's what they're trying to go back to. I think it could, like, I think the true Resident Evil formula could be done in co-op, maybe like a 2-player co-op, but I think it needs to be like real finely done, and it probably is easier to pull off as a single-player game.
Well, I mean, this is straight up like PvP. Like
PvP. Oh, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how I don't know how the shooting mechanics are, but if they're anything like 5 and 6, no, fuck that, dude. There's way more better. If I want a PvP game, I'm gonna play a game that's based around PvP. I don't need. Not every game needs PvP shoehorned into it. We need to get over that.
Well, like I said, I had fun with it, but you know, if you get a chance, you can watch some of the footage. And
is that the one where like you transform into the zombies and shit if you get hit? Okay,
well,
so
it's not if you get hit. What it is like when you die, you turn into a biomutant, but which one you turn into depends on how many vials of like the T virus that you pick up. And so it's kind of giving you 2 lives, 2 chances essentially per life. Because when you die as a human, you come back as, you know, a biomutant. And then when you die as a biomutant, that's when you respawn as a human. And each human has different abilities, like Hunk can go invisible. I forgot what all of them are already, actually, because that was back in like February. But basically, they all have their own unique abilities. And then when you become a biomutant, it's the same story. Like, you know, Nemesis has a rocket launcher. The guy from 7 has like the chainsaws. That he,
yeah.
You know, and so it's, you know, it has its own aspect to it, but.
Okay, well then I was thinking about something different. Then never mind. That's you know, different.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could just be fun multiplayer, like Dead by Daylight. Like no one plays Dead by Daylight, to be serious. You know, like it's just fun.
Shots fired at Kern.
Well, it's not shots fired. It's true. Like, it's like no one's playing MLG Dead by Daylight.
Wonder if they should make that a thing.
Yeah.
Kern's gonna start it now.
Just a fun game that, like, if you enjoy that type of game, you play.
Yeah.
Okay. So next one's Gundam Evolution. Matt actually brought that to my attention. I don't know if you watched the trailer, but I did.
Yeah. It looks cool.
Yeah, free to play, right? But Japan only so far.
Right.
And it's a hero shooter. It looks, dude, like, I know you said everyone's calling it Gundam, Overwatch Gundam. I haven't seen that, but I haven't really looked into it. But when I saw like the HUD and saw that, I was like, if you would have told me that they licensed Gundam out like the way they did with Dynasty Warriors, where they had Dynasty Warriors Gundam, like Overwatch Gundam, I would have believed you because it looks fucking identical.
Yeah,
and it looks very similar gameplay. Like, you know, obviously the heroes had some different abilities to match Gundam, but the sniper looked like a sniper. Which I'm not a big Gundam person, but if you shoot the head off a Gundam, does it really like end the Gundam? like, and if that's the case, then how come they made them like that? That's kind of stupid.
That's a question for Dash Nataku. He's
Yeah,
actually
Dash, comment on the video. Let us know why
yeah,
why does the Gundam get headshotted? Is that why the captain? Yeah,
he's a big Gundam fan. He's got all like the models and stuff. Actually, or Will Geeks Out might know, but yeah, that's I don't know. Like, it sucks that right now it's only Japan because it does look pretty good. And you know, I want to say like any how do I say it? I guess any Overwatch is good Overwatch, sort of, but like I don't know if that's true. So that's
it's like a hero shooter though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Just Gundam free to play, like it seems like it has elements that would make it good, make it fun.
Looks like a solid game.
As long as it's not like pay to win or something, you know, because a lot of games say they're free to play, but then they're like, oh yeah, well if you want the super badass characters, you got to give us some money. Like,
yeah, like I guess League, how League the heroes rotate, and if you want to play a certain one, you have to buy them.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing when the game launches, how the contest where they give away the full Gundam computer.
That would be amazing.
The ROG Strix Gundam computers.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you saw this because I didn't bring it up, but Kotaku says that the Gundam graphics cards that we've actually discussed previously, I think it was on one of the podcasts that Curtin was on.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so like Kotaku is saying that those graphics cards are being wasted on Bitcoin mining.
Yeah, they're mining. Yeah, I saw that article already. They're mining, which is kind of crazy because that just shows how profitable mining is, because those things were already overpriced from what they should have been.
Well, but I mean, like, if you have a graphics card in your computer and you look at your computer every day just because you just happen to be mining with it, like, I don't feel like it's wasted. If it's sitting in a fucking mining farm with a bunch of other graphics cards,
they're in racks.
Okay, well then yes, I would see that as being wasted. But because real fans would be like, oh, this is a Gundam card, I love it. Kind of how I want that white, I think it's like a 3080. Even though like I don't really give a shit about the card itself per se, but it's white, so I'm like, yeah, I kind of want it. So it would match my case.
The white Strix or the Vision from Gigabyte, yes.
Yeah, it would match my nice fancy white case. So I have a nice white graphics card in there. That'd be awesome. But anyway.
Okay, so next one. Matt seems pretty excited about it based on his picture, so I'll let him talk about it first.
Well, so Steam randomly just dropped this on everyone. Elgato had said they were having like an announcement, they had a countdown and all this kind of crap. And sure enough, Steam had to come along and steal their thunder and announce the Steam Deck, which, as you can see behind me, it's essentially, people are calling it like the Switch Pro and all these kind of names. It's essentially a portable computer. They're going to retail for minimum 400 all the way up to, I think it's like 650 for like the high-end model.
Something. I don't know if it's 50, but yeah, I think that's right.
Well, anyway, so something like that. Basically, I'll get into that part in a second. But basically, it's a portable computer. It has the Steam OS or whatever built into it. It lets you run games out of the box. It's going to be able to connect via a USB-C connection or an optional dock, which is being sold separately. And you could essentially like mount it to a monitor, plug in a keyboard and mouse, and have your, it's a PC. It has expandable storage. It supports Bluetooth devices, USB, and has those two trackpads, one for the mouse, one for I don't know what the hell the other one would be. Anyway, trackpads, buttons, triggers. Yeah, it seems cool. It seems hype. And so I actually was able to sit in the queue, I guess you would say, today and sat there refreshing the page on Steam, and I was able to reserve the 64 gig model. So fingers crossed I'll be one of the first people to get it, because it was within like 7 minutes of launch. So hopefully that'll be in my possession sometime in December is what I was reading online. Yeah, what are your thoughts? What are your take on all this?
Okay, so my guess is the trackpads are just going to be like sticks, kind of like how the Steam controller is.
I never had a chance to mess with it, but yeah.
Okay, but I think it's pretty damn awesome, to be honest. It's $400 for a computer. That's fucking legit. Or a portable computer with its own screen. You don't got to buy a monitor. Granted, it's only 800p, but that's fine. You know, you don't need anything better in a smaller screen. You're not going to notice the difference. I like how its power consumption is going to be really good because it's using new technology, unlike the Switch. And I don't think it's fair to compare it to the Switch like a lot of people are, but I think it's great.
Yeah, it's I mean, God, like you said, portable computer, man. I mean, it really isn't a fair comparison to the Switch because the Switch is more of like, I don't know, cosmetics kind of upgrade, bigger screen, like.
Well, you're talking about the OLED. I was just speaking of the Switch in general.
Well, yeah, I was talking about the OLED Switch that they're coming out with, but I mean, yeah, it's, I don't know, this one's gonna be so much better. People are comparing it to the Game Gear, which you and I discussed.
That's kind of fair. Just comparing to compare it to the OLED, it's kind of fair because the OLED's coming out in October, right? And it's going to be using, I believe it's October, and it's going to be using the same technology that it did before, which we actually looked this up before the stream. I don't know if you remember mini streams, I've said that Nintendo actually chose to go with a outdated graphics card or GPU in it. So I did some research. It was actually Maxwell, which is the 9,000 or 900 series. So the 10 series was already out a year before the Switch came out. So they I don't know why they did that. The 10 series was such a big jump for the 9 series. And so I think they really just shot themselves in the foot, but anywho. So you're comparing it to a card that came out, or a technology that came out in 2014.
Damn.
But they're still they just made a new version of it. As opposed to the graphics card that came out last year, or GPU that came out last year. With the Switch, and it will be not the Switch, the Steam Deck, which will be the newest technology at the time. So that's just fucking crazy to me now to think about it.
Right? It is. I mean, it's like when we were discussing it, the thing that you brought up, you're like, well, Jamie can play Phasmo now, and it's like, that's cool because it's like, yeah, she's been wanting to play that shit for a long time, and so I could have that set up in the living room and she could play it. But like, if I wanted to just take it somewhere, like, hey, we're gonna meet up somewhere, like we're gonna drive somewhere, we're gonna go to a con or something, like, hey, I'll just fucking bring my computer with me, aka my Stream Deck, let's fucking play some shit.
I thought their advertising was really good because they had the two players with the fight sticks plugged into it. I'm like, yeah, the fighting game community is gonna eat this shit up because I know some PC versions of the game are really, really good. So being able to play it like on a Switch type of device, hook up your fight sticks, dude, they're gonna love that.
It'd be interesting to hear Joshiro's take on it, or maybe even not Patrick if he's still into it.
I don't think Patrick's. Yeah, he's not really into the fight scene, but Joshiro definitely is. That's what he does. He trains on Guilty Gear and stuff. I do have opinions on the different tiers. So me and Kern were talking the other day, I think when you were DC'd, and we both agreed that the $400 one would be the only one that we would buy. But after looking into it a little bit more, I kind of changed my mind. I won't even consider the $400 version because it just has 4 or 64 megabytes.
64 gigs, yeah.
Gigs, I'm sorry, not megs. So shit, that'd be shitty.
64
gigs. So does that? I don't know this, but can you tell me? Is that free space or is that like OS?
I'm not positive. I'm not positive, but it does have expandable storage. So I could buy a 512 gig little SIM card or whatever and put it in there.
Put it in, right? But I just don't know. Yeah, I'm just curious on that because what I would like to do, since it's a full-blown computer, it doesn't make if you don't have the money for it, then obviously don't do it. But for me, it doesn't make sense to not get the 512 version, which is only 530. So $130 more, put the Steam OS so you can have a good experience when you're on portable, and put Windows on there. So if you ever need to use it as a computer, you can. And an extra $150 for that compatibility, I mean 130, like that's a or not compatibility, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. But that functionality is a no-brainer to me. Like, why wouldn't you? You know, you can do so much more. If you go on a trip or something and you need to work from it, like, you know, I might need to work remote into my computer from somewhere else, like my work computer. I can just take my little Stream Deck and use that. Like, I guess for my lifestyle, it's a no-brainer for me.
Also, my thing is, I'm just looking at it. I just Googled like 512 gigabyte SD card. It's anywhere between $25 and $80, depending on which brand you get, like Samsung, SanDisk, etc. So, I mean, you know, like you're saying, $130 versus, you know, this. So to me, I see where I get what you're saying, and I totally understand. And you know, but my thing is for this, it's actually would probably be cheaper to go this route, just to expand the storage and then do the same thing that you're talking about, put Windows on it and all that. Just do it this way, and then it also supports USB and all that stuff. So you could get like an external hard drive and plug it in via USB and all that kind of stuff. So
I would rather have the OS on the internal drive, and that's just the computer me talking. But yeah, like I wouldn't want my OS on an SD card.
Well, it's internal, but not internal. Like, I know what you mean.
It's expandable. It's not really like.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I know what you mean.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. So right now I pre-ordered the 530, the in between the 256 NVMe. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it yet. Put down $5. If I lose $5, I lose $5. So, but at least I have the option when it comes out. Like, maybe the reviews are good. I'm like, okay, I'll get it. It gives me time to think about it. But that's the version that I would go with. You know, obviously I love the one with more memory, but I just don't think it's worth the increasing cost there.
Yeah, and like I will say this, the launch was kind of a clusterfuck, as probably to be expected with any new like sort of hardware and tech launch. The Steam store was having issues. I refreshed like 1 billion times after I hit reserve now to get to the part where it let me put in my information, and then I had to refresh 1 billion times again. And then whenever it looked like it was actually going through, it was just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. So I refreshed. And then it's like, oh, you're trying to make too many purchases. You should wait like a couple hours. I'm like, oh Jesus. But you know, then I got the confirmation email, so I was like, all right, cool. It actually did go through. But yeah, I was seeing on Twitter people were having all kinds of problems and issues with it. And then finally, I guess Valve was able to kind of, you know, even out the server load, and so people were able to start reserving them without problems. But like I said, I got mine in within 7 minutes. So if that's not one of the first like group, then this is gonna be crazy. Because I mean, isn't that how the graphics card thing is? Like graphics card launch, and like I thought you said like the first batch was only like what 5 minutes or something. Maybe? Yeah,
like September. Like you know, they launched in September, and I still think if you go to the wait listing for EVGA, like they're still at the end of September. So it's, you know, we're almost a year into it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I don't know. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think mine was October 10th, and I haven't received an email saying that I could buy one yet. So it's at least before October 10th. It's still not even a month in. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, hopefully the Steam thing isn't going to be as crazy, because I mean it's using different and it's using an APU, correct?
It's using an AMD APU, so you know I don't think it'll be that hard to pull, because it's only 4 cores on the CPU. The GPU, it's probably going to be a lot smaller because it's an APU. So you know I can't imagine there being a shortage, because it's not a lot of silicone the way the 3080s are, where they're massive.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Well, you know, fingers crossed I'll have it sooner rather than later. And you know, we'll do coverage on it for sure.
Okay, so next topic, Nickelodeon. I've heard rumors of this from the Smash community, because I like looking at the Smash trending, because they all like bash each other and what should be the last character. But anyway, revealed pretty much a Nickelodeon Smash Brothers. They released a trailer of it, And I don't know, what are your thoughts?
Well, so it's called Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, which if I had to give my 2 cents on the name, I would say that too many damn games where they do this are called Brawl. I mean, Smash Brothers Brawl wasn't that PlayStation game called like All Stars Brawl or something too? Like I don't, maybe not exactly All Star
I thought it was just
Brawl.
called PlayStation All Stars.
Well, whatever. I just feel like All Star and Brawl, that word, any sort of combination has been used too goddamn much. So anyway,
All-Star
the naming,
Racing from Sonic.
yeah, exactly. So naming convention aside, I do think the game actually looks pretty cool. They had Michelangelo and I think Leonardo from the Turtles, Helga from Hey Arnold, the Thornberry
I would like to
guy.
say before,
Go ahead.
fucking the Ninja Turtles, even though they have been on Nickelodeon, are not Nickelodeon. I'm kind of torn on it, why them being in there, but anywho, Nigel Thornberry.
Yeah. Nigel Thornberry from the Wild Thornberries. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob. I'm trying to just think of who all I remember seeing in there, but I mean, it just looks cool. Like, I mean, it'll definitely sell because of the children's market and the Nickelodeon nostalgia. People that are our age will probably be like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Just to try it. Maybe not when it launches, but at some point. Give it a shot.
Do you think they put Nigel Thornberry in there because of all the memes?
Probably. They probably thought that like he was like, man, this guy's very popular. We should add him to this game.
Because who the fuck not to put him in there other than that? Like out of all the Thornberry characters, him.
Oh, I think I saw Real Monsters, right? Like
the umbrella stick. I forgot her name.
Oblina.
Yeah.
Real Monsters. Trying to remember all the ones I saw in that trailer, but yeah, it was. I mean, it looks like it might be a halfway decent fighting game. To me, it may as well have been a Smash Brothers skin. Like it looked like it had almost the same stage, like Final Destination platforms, and just kind of general gameplay. Just reminded me so much of Smash. So we'll see. I think it's supposed to launch at the fall of this year. So. You might be seeing that sooner rather than later here, but yeah, I mean, I think it'll sell. I honestly do. Okay,
so yeah, I think the gameplay looks all right. It doesn't look like anything special. It looks very smashy, but I don't think it looks as fine-tuned as Smash. I feel like their marketing team or whoever chose the characters knew what the fuck they were doing, because they got some more recent Nickelodeon characters.
Toastman! I just remembered that.
Yes. That's the first one. I'm like, Ren and Stimpy? Like, really? Does even anyone like play that anymore? That's considered an adult cartoon now. When they replay it on like FX now, I don't think Nickelodeon would touch that cartoon with a 10-foot pole nowadays. So that kind of surprised me. Not that I care, but like all these kids are going to go watch Ren and Stimpy now.
Right.
But that caught me off guard. Invader Zim caught me off guard.
Right.
I think they did a really good job of picking very known characters from, I guess, our childhood, because we're 30 and we were kids when those were cartoons. So they're obviously going for our age demographic, and then they're throwing them in for the kid, some for the modern ones for the kids. So they know what the fuck they're doing. They're capturing the nostalgia from the parents. Like, oh wow, maybe I don't want this game, but it has All Real Monsters, Invader Zim, fucking Hey Arnold. I'm surprised Reptar.
You're right, from Rugrats. Yeah, I was gonna say shit.
And then they just relaunched Rugrats too. So
yeah,
I think they did a real good job on the color selection. That's what caught my eye. I'm still not going to buy it. Like, that kind of stuff doesn't work on me in terms of marketing, but I can appreciate it.
Maybe we'll get lucky and have online co-op on Xbox or something, and then we can play it.
Game Pass.
Exactly. Now that we know how to do that shit. Good stuff.
Okay, next thing is Elgato Stuff. So as Matt talked about beforehand, Elgato kind of got overshadowed, so we are here to show what got overshadowed.
Yeah, we'll gloss over it as quickly as everyone else did once the Steam Deck was announced. Oh shit! All right, so there's gonna be like a Wave XLR like mic thing. I forgot what the hell it's actually called. It's kind of like it allows you to change the volume and raise and lower different audio aspects of like your stream or just your gaming setup. You know, you can lower and raise teammates' voices, in-game audio, music, etc. It plugs in with two go like XLR microphones plug into the back of it, and then it has like this big button on the front. You can adjust it. A fader, I think, is what it's called. That was the word I think I was looking for. But anyway, so they announced that. I think it's like $100 something, 150 maybe. Then they announced a $200 webcam, which honestly it does look pretty good. It's a little bit bulky, like it kind of looks like a big square box. It's supposed to have like a really fancy lens in it. I think it's like 95 degrees field of view. It's made with some kind of Sony something in it, and that's $200. And then they started going into just kind of other things, I guess, where you might get, but you might not get, depending on how your stream is set up and whatnot. So they introduced a mic arm, which you can't really. Let me see if I can get it to appear. Sort of a mic arm. I've got one that's adjustable. It's metal, but anyway, they announced like a mic arm and a different sort of mic arm. They look cool, but I didn't see the price. They announced the Stream Deck Mark II, which has the ability to change faceplates, and the little kickstand thing in the back is taken away. Now it uses magnets or something, and the cord in the back can be pulled out, so it makes for easier like transportation, I guess. I've never really had to take my Stream Deck anywhere, but I guess if you are one of those big fancy streamers that get to go and stream in places all the time, then it might be good for portability. They announced a wall mount and a master mount. I'm not sure what the difference is. The wall mount is for your camera. The master mount, I think, is also for your camera. Anyway, light strip extenders, and then probably the thing that people might actually end up using the most if you're just trying to like get into streaming is the studio configurator, which basically shows you like kind of like in a 3D space where you would like to put your monitors, where you can add these different peripherals, and so you can kind of lay it out how you would ideally want it to be. So I think that part's the really cool part. And out of everything they added, at least for me personally, the only thing that interests me is the webcam, but the $200 price point seemed a little high for me.
I like the XLR, but I have to get a new microphone for that, so that's kind of a little steep for me. The webcam, same with you. I think looks pretty cool. It's pretty high performing. Like I think our webcams are 1080p, 30 frames, and that one's 1080 frames 60. Like you said, it's $200. Our webcam was like $60, and in a stream setting where you're like gameplay is the main thing, and like you're just a little, I don't know, you're just in the corner. It really doesn't matter at that point. I don't think you would get 2.5 times worth of value out of it, price performance. I really think the stuff is kind of a little overpriced. I think they're trying to write their name, Elgato. Their advertising's more like we're like the stream brand, and we know streaming and that kind of stuff. So, and it's expensive to kind of get into streaming if you're buying all that kind of stuff. They're trying to take advantage of that. Yeah, I do think it'll be cool that all of them are probably interfaced together through their software. So that's kind of a big deal in my opinion. Probably the biggest deal out of anything here. And and the Stream Deck can control all that. So with the push, just program your buttons and you can do it. I think that's really, really cool. I don't know if it's worth the price, but it's cool.
I mean, hell, if they sent us one of those creator kits, we would use it. That's for sure. If you're listening, Elgato. cheap plug aside. I I actually forgot to mention this because I just watched the Alpha Gaming video on the peripherals before we started streaming, before we started recording. So the Stream Deck and the XLR can actually, if you put them together, it kind of like, I don't know if I want to say it clicks, but it kind of fits snug. Like they look like they belong together. And so that's probably something that they're thinking of as well, where they're like, you know, someone's going to have a Stream Deck. More than likely, they'll probably also invest in the Go XLR. So if they do, they can put them together. And I think the Go XLR also has the removable faceplate because I seem to recall Harris taking it off, putting it back on. So if you wanted to get a customizable faceplate for your Stream Deck, you can also do the same thing for the Go XLR. So you could have it matching, so we could get like that damn brand custom ones and put them on there. But you know, it'd be cool.
And I don't know, you know, the last one, that wasn't me.
All right, so and then finally, the last topic we have today is something that I saw just like probably 2 hours ago. So someone managed to go in and data mine Netflix. I first of all, who the fuck does that? I guess people just data mine everything because they're fucking curious. But someone data mined, I guess, the latest version of Netflix, and they were able to find, I think it's a Ghost of Tsushima or whatever, like that game we talked about not that long ago. Assets there, Sony logos there, and so basically all these things that are pointing towards a possible partnership with PlayStation. And the reason why this is important, I guess, to bring up is because Netflix just announced, as in like within the last week, that they're planning to move into the game space. They just hired like a former EA executive or something in the gaming realm, and they brought him on board. And so they're going to look into probably doing like the on live cloud gaming type thing where you basically stream games from Netflix to your TV and just play with whatever controllers. In this case, they're probably going to try and suggest PlayStation, is what it sounds like. But I don't know if I think it would be a partnership with PlayStation, or if it's just like, well, we needed to get something in there, so we're gonna throw, you know, PlayStation and just see how it works as like a test.
Well, I think it's like the only. Okay, so Nintendo won't do it. You already know that. Xbox won't do it because they have xCloud. Why are they going to give Netflix money if they have their own thing going on? PlayStation's wants to
kind of
compete
the only
against,
one that makes sense.
Yeah, they want to compete against Xbox, but they don't really have anything set up like it. So I think it's just kind of like Netflix wants to the gaming, PlayStation wants to get competitive in that kind of, I'm not saying they're not competitive, but in that sense where you can stream games. So they can say like, oh, well, you have the xCloud app. We have Netflix. You can stream Netflix from your phone and play games just the way you play on the Xbox. Hook up a controller and start playing again.
I wonder who has the actual larger install base, if it's Netflix or Xbox, you know what I mean? Because I feel like people that have an Xbox do have Netflix, or at least have downloaded Netflix and use free trials or what have you. But like not necessarily people that get Netflix end up getting an Xbox, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people just watch Netflix for movies, but I feel like gamers are a bit of a crossover, whereas the mainstream not so much.
But you're also assuming that with the Game Pass, you get xCloud with Game Pass. So with the other one, you probably would need to buy an add-on for Netflix to specifically do that. Like what I'm trying to say is, you kind of just
get another tier.
Yeah, you kind of just get xCloud by default, honestly. So Xbox might have the bigger install base because of that. Because if you're gaming, you have to opt into it on But that's going to be interesting. Like if that actually happens, and you know it's a Netflix app, to see someone playing Ghost of Tsushima on an Xbox.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because you use the Netflix app on Xbox to play a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
That's actually really like making my gears turn in my head. Like, that's fucking crazy. Because it's like I wonder how PlayStation actually feels about that. Because you know, I mean, sure they're playing your game, but they're not playing it on your console.
That's what I was wondering too, because not so much that they aren't playing your console. I don't think they care about that. But now you're opening this gateway where people don't need to buy a PlayStation. But I guess if you're getting residual money from Netflix, you don't care. I don't know, but PlayStation more so than Xbox is very, we want exclusives. We want exclusives on our system. So people will buy our PlayStation and be locked into our ecosystem. But with them, if they partner with Netflix and you do that, you're not locking anyone into an ecosystem the way they like to do. So that's my more case is, did they feel like, oh, we have to compete in cloud one way or another, so we're going to give up our requirement of joining our ecosystem?
Interesting. Or what if, this is just me thinking out loud, what if they come out with like Ghost of Tsushima Netflix edition where they like add more DLC and like missions and costumes and shit like that, where it's like, if you want the full fucking experience, you've got to play the Netflix edition.
I don't see them doing that. They'd get so much pushback. They're getting pushback right now just for like the upgrade path for PS5. So that'd cost like $10 more.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, could you imagine, like, how crazy would that be?
That'd be crazy, yeah, because that'd be fucking stupid.
Stranger things have happened, my friend.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. On other news, I fixed my controller.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
It's not completely burnt out. Yeah, with the blue thumbsticks. Nice.
Yep. So that's all I got.
Yeah, that's probably going to be it for this episode.
Yep, I've been Daniel.
And I've been Matthew.
We'll talk to
See
you
you
again.
guys in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.